Apparently, David Latt is some sort of minor celebrity in the legal community. Yeah, don't worry, I never heard of the guy either, but Latt became a COVID 19 celebrity since recovering from that ailment. ABC's Nightline ran a 9-minute feature on him, now titled Recovering COVID 19 Patient Talks About Being on a Ventilator, How It Saved Him. Well, since I'm going to criticize this bit of news, we better watch a bit.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
For David Latt, watching his 2-year-old boy play is a blessing he nearly lost.
It's just one of the things you just take for granted until you have something like this.
A second chance of sorts for the 44-year-old attorney. After COVID-19 left him on a ventilator for 6 days, his life teetering on the brink of death, he's now reemerging.
Our president has called this a war. And so as one of the people to fall early in that war and then get back up, as they say in the military, welcome home.
Hey, thank you. It's good to be back.
A return, he says, that he owes to the machine that helped him breathe when he couldn't, a ventilator.
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't able to be connected to that life-saving device.
And it goes on and on, more of the same. 9 minutes. Gay marriage, 2-year-old toddler, puppy dogs, and that wonderful machine that saved my life. I smell bullshit. I mean, I hate to be so cynical, but after all, this is a feel-good story at a time when some good news ought to be welcome. But I can tell you this. I've been part of several news stories that were in fact crafted by PR agencies. And this one shows all the signs of being more of the same. Long on emotional content and short on facts. Plenty of Latt with his gay hubby and newborn baby and romping puppy dog. Medical history or treatment details? Not so much. You know, I wouldn't have given it a second thought if it weren't for the fact that all during the story, Latt is shown wearing an oxygen mask or a nasal oxygen feed. Not a ventilator. It's not the same thing. Now, I suppose that since the story was produced after Latt had recovered, the producers of the show just used the face mask and the nasal feeds because to put Latt under sedation in order to equip a ventilator again was just impractical. Not to mention probably not safe. Now, so I suppose that they supposed no one among their viewing audience would notice the difference. But I noticed. You know, it got me wondering what other deceptions might be taking place in this PR or news coverage. Well, it didn't take much digging to discover that Latt suffers from asthma. And according to WebMD, if you have asthma, you are among those at greatest risk in the coronavirus pandemic and must take precautions. So, David Latt was in fact in a high-risk group for the virus. That seems relevant. More so than Latt's husband, baby, or puppy dog. Something a responsible news report might want to highlight, you know, as a reminder to other asthmatics to use extra caution in this era of COVID-19. But neither NBC or ABC or anyone else got around to mentioning it. It's a bit strange. And speaking of strange, in the latter portion of NBC's report, they said,
doctors at New York's NYU Langone Medical Center put David on an experimental drug regimen to try to save his life.
So Latt was on a ventilator and doing poorly. He was in critical condition. Then he was given an experimental drug, and now he's at home recovering. Well, that seems just a little bit relevant to the story. So what saved David Latt? The ventilator or the experimental drug? You know, if I were a reporter, what I would do is ask the obvious question. Hey, doctor, what was the name of this experimental drug you gave David Latt? I mean, this is journalism 101, right? Who, what, where, when, why? And the what is the drug. Well, I don't really need to tell you, do I? You already know the answer. You know what the drug was. The experimental drug that Latt was given was the 70-year-old, totally affordable unpatented hydroxychloroquine. Yes, the same hydroxychloroquine touted by President Trump and poo-pooed by Anthony Fauci so many weeks ago and used with much success around the world. That seems relevant to the story. Way more relevant than Lat's marital status, his baby or his puppy dog, that's for sure. But it wasn't reported. Not on NBC, CBS, CN, or even Fox News. Nope. I only found it reported on the New York Law Review's website. Notice it does not appear in the title here. We've got the quotation experimental drug. But way, way down here, somewhere, yes, there we have it. Doctors at NYU Langone on Saturday or late Friday prescribed Lat, a Z-Pak, and the anti-malarial drug hydroxychloroquine. Well, what the hell? Why didn't anyone else report this? It's not like it wasn't newsworthy. Well, there's a couple of possibilities, including that neither Lat nor the media want to give Trump's drug any further glory, either for political or financial reasons. I mean, Lat is a gay New Yorker, as I discovered in the media coverage, and I'm just going to hazard a wild guess that he's not on the Trump train. We already know the same is true of all the big media outlets. Now, of course, it needn't be something as nefarious as this. It could be simple incompetence or an oversight. But there's a third option that I believe is much more likely. Much more likely. That this story, as presented, is not journalism at all. It's PR. Here's how it went down. Here's how I've seen it go down in other instances. The marketing department of the manufacturer of the ventilator took notice of Lat's story and situation. They informed their PR agency, which then crafted the narrative that you see presented. The PR agency delivered the news story to the media, who then fact-checked it for any inaccuracies, moved a few words around so their story wouldn't match the one coming out from the media across the street, edited the video footage that was provided by the PR agency, because Lord knows NBC wasn't roaming around the hallways of the New York City hospitals last week. And then they ran it as news, without ever pondering or even asking a single question. Now, there was nothing factually wrong with the report, and yet it remains fake news. Not by virtue of what it says, but by what it doesn't say. But no one ever notices that. You're not supposed to notice. And the show goes on. Peace out. See you next time.